Hi there, my name is Lo. Welcome to my channel where I discuss everything between Hermes and grocery bags. Today I thought it would be fun to do a video because honestly I haven't done videos in a while. I pre-record them, but with the holidays and everything going on the last couple of weeks I was just too busy to do videos. But today I had a little bit of time and I've been seeing a lot of these recap videos from a lot of content creators about bags that they purchased, bags that they sold, bags that were most used and least used. And I didn't really find it all that interesting to replicate all of these things, especially when it comes to most and least used bags in my collection. I just rotate in and out of bags too often to really make credible videos about that. But one topic that I did find more appealing, and this was actually something that was triggered by a video from Content with Candace. I'll link her channel down below. She did a video about bags she returned, and that was for multiple reasons. So I thought, let me also do a video about perhaps a bit of a broader topic, but bags that just weren't meant to be for me this year. And I've divided that up into 4 categories. The first one is bags that I returned because they were not working for me, or at least they were not working for me at that point in time. 2 bags that I wanted to start out with are from my birthday haul, and by the way, all of the bags I'll be talking about that I actually made a video about, those videos will be linked down below. But earlier this year, in July, was my birthday, and I did a little mini haul for my birthday with 3 bags that I had ordered. One bag was a shopper from Ted Baker. It was very inexpensive, and well, who doesn't need a shopper every once in a while, so I still have that. But I also got one bag from Esther Ekme. It was this beautiful green small or mini hobo, I think it was called, and I love the color, and also I found the style very interesting. It was curved but yet it was very structured. But that one, I found that it had quality issues, or at least I'm not really sure if it was a quality issue with that bag per se, or that just the way it was constructed was not going to work. And that's why I was also hesitant, or I am still hesitant, to order another one. But the bag was on the one hand very structured, but it basically had 2 types of being. So you could either have it flat or you could have it stand out a little bit more when you would fill it with stuff. As it was laying flat, it had creasing in the places where it would expand once you fill it up. And though I don't really mind creasing on a number of bags, when you have this sort of super smooth bag that basically has a very long crease on one particular part of the bag, I just felt like it didn't look good. Also, when the bag was laying flat, the zipper was kind of sewn in a very weird way, because this bag is actually not supposed to lay flat. It's supposed to be filled up with stuff so that it can expand. But I just felt that I would have to fill it up with the right amount of stuff every time I would wear it for it to look good, and that was just not going to work for me. The second bag from that haul that I decided to return was a bag from Little Liftner. It was a macaroni hobo bag, I think in the medium. I'm not really sure if they even have any other sizes of that particular style, but yeah, the color was really nice, although I'm not so much of a tan type of person, but the leather seemed good quality. It was a bit of a dupe of a Loewe puzzle bag, but I ended up returning it for 2 reasons. So first of all, the bag was super unstructured, and well, if you know the Loewe puzzle, that is already not a very structured bag, but this was just a sack of leather. I mean, it was beautiful leather, but it was really a sack of leather. The second thing was that it only had one strap, and it was not really long enough to wear over the shoulder. And even though I do tend to wear some bags only handheld, like the Loewe hammock bag, I do prefer it if bags at least have some more options that you can throw it over the shoulder if you need to. And that was the second thing that was really missing from this bag. The third bag I wanted to talk about, and that is one that actually did end up in my collection, was this large Marc Jacob the tote bag. So I got this at the beginning of the year. I think I didn't pay full price, but I think I got like 20% discount perhaps the first time I got it. So I got it out of the box, and I felt just really intimidated in terms of how big and how heavy this bag was. I tried it on a couple of times. I think I had it sit in my walk-in closet for perhaps a week or a week and a half. I really liked it on the one hand, but I felt like I just couldn't get it to work for some reason. So I decided to return it. Then a bit later in the year, I saw it pop up on this website that I well, occasionally check out for good deals. And then suddenly it had a discount of, I think, about 45%, and the bag still had this appeal to me, even though I knew it was big, I knew it was heavy, but in some way it still had my heart, so I decided to order it again. And this time when I got it out of the box, it wasn't so intimidating anymore or something. I don't really know, but I was really mostly overwhelmed by how beautiful it is, even though it is very big. Do I use it often? No. On the one hand, there's not really one bag that I use very often because I just rotate in and out of them all the time. But I do gravitate towards it occasionally. I'm not scared of taking it out in the rain, and especially if I have to carry big things or things with a lot of volume, or that I want to make sure that I can just stuff my sweater or a shawl or a jacket into the bag, then this is a really good one because you can really stuff a massive amount of things in here. So those were the bags that were not working for me or ended up working for me anyways. Then moving on to situations where I was sent the wrong bag. I do order most of my bags online because I'm always on the hunt for a good bargain, and honestly where I live there's not that many shops around where I could look for bags. So unfortunately it did happen to me a couple of times. I think the last time it was when I had ordered the Balenciaga Hourglass bag and I was sent a Balenciaga XXS Everyday Tote, which was also kind of the price that I paid, but yeah, order confirmation definitely stated that it was the Balenciaga Hourglass bag that I had ordered, so I was just hoping I had gotten a really good deal. But what in fact happened was that the wrong pictures and the wrong product information was on the website when I had ordered that bag. So the company I had ordered it from, which I think in this case was Louisa Via Roma, they didn't want to exchange it for me either because it was technically not the product that I had ordered from them. So I ended up just shipping it back to them. They did refund my shipping costs, which I only found fair. But yeah, that was that for the Balenciaga Hourglass bag. I mean, in hindsight, with all the stuff that's been happening with Balenciaga, in that way, I'm not really all that sad about it. Because if I wouldn't gotten that Balenciaga Hourglass bag, even though it would have been for a great price, it would still most likely be sitting on my shelf together with my Balenciaga City Classic Neo. City Neo Classic, I don't know. But we'll get to that in a moment. So another situation where I got sent the wrong bag was with this Tod's destyling bag. I had ordered this from a website called Best Secret, and instead of the Tod's destyling bag, they sent me the Tod's Gomino bag, which actually is a really nice bag. I decided not to keep it at that point in time because of the price point and because it was made of suede. But if you've seen my 23 bags on my radar for 2023, you might know that I still have that bag on my radar. I'm just looking for the right combination of colors to come by at the right price, and I might still add it to my collection in the smaller or the bigger size. I'm open to both of them. I did think it was a really fun bag. Anyway, I did up getting the Tod's Gomino bag. I just decided to order it elsewhere eventually because obviously I couldn't trust that website anymore to send me the correct bag after they had sent me the wrong one. And then the last bag where it went wrong. This is one that I actually decided to keep. It is this J.W. Anderson Pierce bag. I've been wanting to get this bag. I think mostly it's just an homage to the moment where I kind of got interested into designer bags. I think this was one of the first bags that really got me curious about designer bags. But when I had ordered this, I actually wanted to be one size up because this is the smallest size. This is also the one that has just the full ring. Like normally the ring is open, but this one is closed, as you can see. But I got an excellent deal on this already, and then when I emailed the customer service of the company I got it from, and I think in this case it was Yux, which is also part of a Net-a-Porter, if I'm correct. They also said they would give me an additional discount if I decided to keep it, which made the decision even easier for me. So for me, this bag really does scratch my itch of having a J.W. Anderson Pierce bag. I kind of like that it's perhaps not as obvious as the other bags used to be. It also just has this single flap over here, while usually you sort of have another flap, so that these holes seem a bit doubled up. But it's a really cute bag and I do enjoy wearing it. And perhaps one day I might still add the bigger variant, like more of the original variant of the J.W. Anderson Pierce bag to my collection. Then moving on to bags that never arrived. Well, one bag that I tried to order very recently was a Wandler Georgia bag from Farfetch. Again, also at a very good price. I think it was a bit of a chocolatey color, but Wandler always has these beautiful sort of neutral shades. They also have these pops of color, but I really prefer the neutrals. Anyway, I ordered it. It was supposed to come to my address. Delivery guy said that he couldn't find my address. If you cannot find my particular house, at least deliver it to a pickup point, I would say. Nowadays, you don't really have to slip a note in my mailbox to tell me what you've done with the package. But anyway, they said they couldn't deliver, so they returned it to Farfetch. And then obviously when that had happened, I couldn't reorder it for the same price. So I've been kind of on the lookout for another deal for the Wandler Georgia, but on the other hand, as I also said in my earlier video, I'm not really sure if it is the right style of bag for me, so I got a couple of flat bags recently, which I have actually been really enjoying, so I find it hard to pinpoint what it is that sometimes I really do like, sort of simple flat bags, and other times I don't. So perhaps I should just still give it a go, but it's actually also kind of a boxy and bulky bag. It's so hard to describe, right? Sometimes you cannot really point out why two bags that are fairly similar, like one you absolutely adore and you feel like the other one is not going to work for you. So I think I'll just keep an eye out and still order it at some point in time, because I really do like Wandler bags. They're really beautiful. But this time around it also gave me a sense of, if it's not meant to be, it's just not meant to be. And who knows, this might come by some other time. The second bag I wanted to talk about was this Balenciaga City Classic Neo. There was a whole saga around this bag for me. I think the first time when I got it earlier this year, I made a mistake myself and I ordered it in the smooth leather. I thought they were all grained leather, but apparently they are not. So I had ordered this bag actually pretty much the same, also with gold hardware, but then in the smooth leather. And when I got it out of the box, I just really couldn't appreciate it. It was really weird, so I decided to send that one back. Then I tried to order this bag in grained leather, but then in a color, I think it's called mink. It's somewhere in between a sort of gray, brown, taupe. I don't know exactly what kind of color it is, but I find it a very interesting color, especially for a bag like that. And then that one was not deliverable. Apparently it was out of stock, so I got my money back. And then also I think they gave me a coupon for 20 euros discount, which I appreciated. So then the third time when this bag in the grained leather in the black came around, then I decided to snatch it up. But of course, the downside being that now with all of the stuff happening around Balenciaga, it has been sitting on my shelf and I'm still not really sure what to do with this bag. So in that sense, I kind of wished that the third one was also not meant to be. But yeah, I only found out after the return period. I mean, I really do like the aesthetics of that bag. I just don't really appreciate Balenciaga as a brand very much at this point in time. And then the last point, quality issues. Really have to start wrapping up this video before it gets too dark. That's about these two bags over here. So first of all, this Marc Jacobs the tote bag in the small size in the color, I forgot the color. Well, it is this beige, it's called Twine. Yeah, I think it's called Twine. So the first time I got it, it was not a massive issue, but the finishing here on the piping, I think it's called, was a little off. So then when I had the opportunity to get this again at the same price within the return period, I just decided to exchange it. And finally, this Givenchy Pandora bag. I have two of these bags, but earlier this year I was so madly in love with them that I actually tried to get a third one. And this was perhaps also one of these cases, like where it was just not meant to be and I shouldn't be bothered with trying to get a new one or trying to exchange it. It was also the last one in stock. It was not specifically this one, but it was the goatskin version of this bag, but then in the black. So I already had the Pepe leather version, which is more of a crinkled leather, in the black, but I also wanted to get this goatskin version in the black. And when I got it, there was nothing wrong with the bag, but it didn't have a strap. And even though this bag has multiple ways of wearing it and a grained black leather strap would technically be fairly easy to exchange, I decided that it was just not going to be a good idea, because if I ever want to sell this bag, I know like the resale value, especially on these Pandora bags, is already not very good. If I also have to take a loss because the original strap is missing, it's just gonna be a bad idea. And given that I already had 2 of these, I just decided to return it. It was the last one that they had, so eventually I never got it again. But one day I might still get the larger version or the medium-sized version of this Givenchy Pandora bag in this type of leather. I don't know, to me it still remains a very interesting and functional bag. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the Givenchy Pandora. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you like this little in-between type of video. I usually just put them out once a week, but I just felt like shooting a video and also putting it out there while we're still at the beginning of the new year and reflecting upon the old year. What are your takes on this? What are your experiences with this, especially if you order a lot of these bags online? Do you also get up in these bad luck situations where either the quality is just really poor, or there's a strap missing, or they sent you the wrong bag? When these things happen, do you feel like it's meant to be, or do you get even more passionate about then still getting this bag? Like, do you let it go, or will you even pay more to get it? I'm kind of curious how you guys go about this. At the end of the day, they are just bags, right? So it should remain fun and shouldn't be frustrating. But things go wrong sometimes in production or also in supply chain. So it might be relatable to you that can be very annoying. Anyways, just yakking on in this video. It's getting dark. I'm gonna call it a day, start editing, and I hope all of you have a happy 2023 with all the bags that you wish, at a great price and with 0 quality issues. For now, remember, there's a styling, a situation, and a taste for everything, so don't judge, wear whatever the bag you like. Until next time, or as we would say in Dutch, doei!